before we begin, I have to thank each and every one of you for being here. And of course, my absolutely dazzling culinary superstar panel for being here. Romy has dashed in from London, Bombay, shooting with the MasterChef this morning. A big hand for her, please. For Romy Gill, a big hand. And Sunita Kohli just received an award yesterday at Nasik for her interior design and architecture. A big hand for her as well, please. She's made time to be with us. And Dr. Pushpesh Pant has been launching his amazing book all over, and he's here right now to share his amazing encyclopedic knowledge with us. A big hand for him. So I have to say that for me, it's a treat to beat all treats, to be with these dazzling superstars, 2 Padma Shris, 1 MBA, 1 MBE with all the amazing books. But I'd like to begin with Sunita Kohli because we are going to be launching her book, which is actually most exciting and already on the bestseller list, even though it's just been launched. So I'm going to just say one thing which I find very interesting about 3 of them, that while they are highly acclaimed globally, nationally, everything, and authors of cookbooks, they do other amazing stuff. They're actually very, very accomplished in other fields as well. Dr. Pushpesh Pant in international relations. He's been teaching in the Jawaharlal Nehru University. Sunita Kohli is the very first to receive the Padma Shri and probably the only interior designer, right? Am I right? Yeah. So big hand for that. This is amazing. They all have so many firsts to their credit that I am completely blown off my mind. It's really amazing. And she is also was the very first one from India to give a talk at the Washington Building Museum an illustrated talk. And she's broken so many glass ceilings that it's unbelievable and very inspirational. And of course, so we are going to be launching her book at the end of the session. And now here's the bad news. We only have like 40 minutes to speak to these brilliant superstars share their culinary journeys and their views. So I'm going to speed it up and the mic over to Sunita Kohli before we go to Romy. Sunita, can you please tell us about your Lucknow cookbook, which, by the way, she's written this amazing interior designer, architect, expert, and everything, has actually written lots of books on culinary histories. Her first one on Lucknow has been declared a modern classic already. Sunita, could you please read a little bit about it for us?
I will, but Rashmi, first of all, thank you for this very, very generous
and very true
introduction.
Very true.
And well, the Lucknow cookbook came, everything in my life has really happened by chance, chalte, becoming an interior designer, chalte, but that was 54 years ago, and I still continue to do that work. And the same thing was with writing a cookbook. It's a long story, so I won't get into it. But it was written because of my mother, and who I co-authored this book with 7 years ago, and I'm very happy to see that happy to say that it was released in many, many literary festivals and illustrated talks, and somebody sitting here from Avid Learning, Asad, also had released it 7 years ago in Bombay. So it's had a wonderful journey. And this book is essentially not about Awadhi cuisine as such, but about the everyday food that we ate in India. And I have to just say, so when my publishers, Alif, had agreed to do this book, because I was already going to do doing a very big art book for them on World Heritage Sites in India. And this was essentially my mother's book. And David Davidar said, I'll only do it if you co-author it with your mother. And we don't want 345 recipes, we want 150, which she had made for her book. And you write a 10,000-word essay. So I thought to myself, now how easy is this? Because the discipline, I didn't study interior design, it's a whole process. I became an interior designer. And I studied literature, BA, MA, incomplete PhD on Christopher Marlowe, and then, of course, became a designer.
And classical music, too.
I studied classical music to be a good listener, frankly, you know. So, क्योंकि सुनने वाले भी होने चाहिए. You know, everybody can't be singing. Like my sister's a professional singer. So, well, you know, that's one's journey. Why should one be slotted into one vertical of only design? And the other day at Hyderabad airport, 3 girls came running up to me and said, "Aren't you Sunita Kohli who wrote the Lucknow cookbook?" I said, "Arey wah. Pehle to aate the, aren't you Sunita Kohli, who's the interior designer? But look how life changes." In any case, my parents were refugees from undivided India. They came from Lahore. So in this, David Devidar had asked me to write a 10,000-word story of my parents' story. So I had written Watan Lost to Watan Found, from Lahore to Lucknow. And that was my parents' story, because my mother comes from Quetta, my father from Lahore. My husband also comes from a place way up north in Mansehra, and I was born in Lahore, but brought up in Lucknow. So that is what. So in that, the passage I'm going to read to you speaks about displacement, and also ours is a fractured family history. It has to be with anybody who's gone through partition. And there are many, I'm sure, here. So I wrote, with that background of my parents' history, I wrote, David Lowenthal, the American historian, renowned for his work on heritage and spatial concepts of the past and the future, had famously pronounced that the past is a foreign country. This cookbook, although palpable with nostalgia, selectively recaptures events and objects from the past that are a part of the intangible heritage of food and familial memories of gentler times. These are collective memories that conserve a sense of continuity, of belonging, and of being rooted. I believe food engenders social and family harmony. It anchors us and connects us to the past, grounds us in the present, and gives us a sense of identity and belonging. Our personal histories define us, and I have chosen to define this partly through Lucknow's food traditions. The preparation of food is learnt by observation. It is a process of osmosis, and in our family, all 4 generations cook. So one can certainly cook from this book, but one can also read through the recipes to get a glimpse of Lucknowi culture and of the lives behind these recipes. This is a book for cooks and for armchair cooks, because for people who really love food, it is a lens through which to view this particular world.
That's amazing. A big hand for that. And we'll come back to you when we're doing the launch. And Romy Gill, who is a household name all over UK and large parts of the world. She's been on lots of BBC shows as judge, and she's been anchoring them. And a chef, author, restaurant owner. She's here, dashed in this morning at 7 o'clock. And after shooting with Vikas Khanna and Ranveer Brar for MasterChef in Bombay. And we're so grateful to have you here. And her book is her personal culinary journey of India. Romy, please tell us about it. You're the best person to do so. Can we see the book, cover of the book? It's beautiful.
This is my new book.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Rashmi ji. I've known Rashmi for a very, very long time. She's always championed many, many, many people. And I met Sunita ji last week at another festival. And that was really wonderful, because I could, had the beautiful moment of knowing you. And then you reading that paragraph, it's just so emotional. And Pushpet and I did an event long time ago, like probably 10 years, I think. So this book, the reason I say Romy Gill's India, this is my 3rd book. I've written previous books as well, but the food I grew up eating, it's the food of my childhood. It's the food that I was born and brought up in Bengal. but my parents are Punjabi. And my dad went to work in a steel plant in ISCO, which is in Burnpur, and it is one of the oldest steel plant in India. And like my dad, a lot of people migrated from different states to go and work there. So I wanted to kind of share my upbringing, how the food I ate and how the food that was so important to me, like, you know, the street food is so, so important in our culture for everybody, I think. But I don't know how many of you know, but for me, the train journeys were so important part of my growing up in 70s, 80s, and 90s. Probably the younger generation won't even know what long train journeys are now, because they were full of amazing stuff, right? And the picnics my parents would, you know, pack to be on that 24-hour journey. But one thing I really would love to read from my book is, I think everybody knows about Maggie. Unwrapping Food Memories, a tale of Maggie and a cultural connections. In the heart of India, where traditions and modernity harmlessly coexist, the tale of Maggie is not just about how a single packet of Maggie noodles makes a simple dish. Rather, it is about how these noodles have woven themselves into intricate fabric of Indian culture, stirring memories and creating connections that endure through time. A smile tugs in at my lips, and I recall the stories that I have shared about my school and college years when Maggie was more than just a quick meal. It was a bond that brought us together during the late night study sessions and academic adventures. My quest to explore the origins of Maggie in India was drawn through those memories. And in 1980s, it was something that everybody associated, something came. Its swift rise to popularity minored the nation's growing appetite for the convenience food. Maggie quickly became the snack of choice for travelers during long train journeys, a comforting salve to enduring heartbreaks and comforting hug for homesick students.
Wonderful. Big hand for that, please. That's lovely. And now we come to this gentleman who's sitting on my left, my Guruji. I met him off and on, but I met him in San Sebastian, at the San Sebastian Gastronomica. How many years ago? He remembers better than I do. But I actually changed my flight, and then I changed my seat, and I sat next to him because Dr. Pushpesh Pant, is the ultimate in culinary history, in India's history, food history, and he is full of...
Will you let me talk, please?
No. And no. And he is just, seriously, if you Google who's the best food critic of India, who's the best food writer of India, Dr. Pushpesh Pant. He's written a big hand for him. We're truly, truly honored. He is a walking, talking, full of anecdotes encyclopedia. I'm going to hand over the mic to you in a minute. But before I do that, I have to tell, you're not getting it. I have to tell you that his book weighs 2.5 kilos, the ultimate 1.5 kilos, okay? The ultimate Indian cookbook. He's written 2 versions for Fida on the vegetarian, non-vegetarian. But we're not going to go into that because he's going to, otherwise my Guruji is going to give me 2 tight slaps and not let him talk. So first of all, my dear Guruji, sir, look at his face. I'd like to know about your books which are in the press. He's got one very exciting one. He's got such amazing, like The Curse of the Curry, or, you know, he's got such amazing thoughts. He's amazing. So please tell us about your Pan cookbook.
Before I come to the Pan cookbook, I'm still mesmerized by what...
Okay, your mic is on.
Take this.
I'm still mesmerized by what Sunita read and what Romi read, because I think food is always a journey. And what I would like to talk about is that when she was talking about music and Lucknow, my thought went back when she said Pan. Pan is so quintessentially, in my memory, Lucknow. Magar aaj, if you go to Lucknow, you will get a travesty of a pan. The panwadi will tell you, aapko chocolate ka pan khana hai, palang tod pan khana hai, rheumatic dard ka pan khana hai, strawberry wala pan khana hai, and it hurts me deeply. My father, who studied in Lucknow in medical school, 27 to 34, he did BSc first, then he didn't waste 7 years in medical school. he was so fond of pan that at times my mother would get very upset and said कि इश्क तो इनको तुम्हारे अब्बा को पान से है, शादी मुझसे कर रखी है. तो actually, if you talk of pan and you talk of food, before I come to what these two ladies have so spellbindingly put me into a trance, is pan lagane wala is called chaurasiya in Hindi. Now, why is he called chaurasiya? Because in Indian tradition, there are 6 basic rasas. Not 4, not the 5th umami, but 6 rasas. उनमें से 4 रस पान के पत्ते में होते हैं. कड़वा, मीठा, तीखा, etc. मगर unless you are in Gujarat and you have धानानी दाल, तो उसमें नमकीन भी आ जाता है भीतर. Interesting things have been done with Maggi. You can have a Maggi samosa. You can have a Maggi paratha. You can have a Maggi momo. You can have a Maggi point in the hills trekking to the base camp of, so Maggi is also part of your personal journey along certain routes, comfortable trains, uncomfortable trains, life-threatening treks to the mountain bases, number 1. But the point is, what do we do with the pan? So when I started working on pan, it was a personal memoir to be dedicated to my father, जो कत्था अपना कत्थे की मलाई खाते थे, चूने को दूध में बुझाते थे, सिर्फ इत्तदा खा मुत्तदा खा का वो इलायची दाना, मुश्की दाना, तंबाकू खाते थे, where green cardamom seeds were wrapped in, were first dipped in tobacco water and then draped in silver foil. And he only ate pan for 4 months in a year when Maghai Patta was available to him. Much before COVID, there was a Heja outbreak in Banaras where his parcel used to come from, and he did not eat pan that year. So pan was something which to me was more than pan. अक्सर आप पान खाएंगे यूट्यूब पे खाई के पान बनारस वाला very famous song, but what Amitabh Bachchan does, he is high on bhang before that, फिर पिच थूकता है, पीक के दाग गिरते हैं, तब उसकी बंदकल का ताला खुलता है. और you have the other song, लौंगा इलायची का बीड़ा बना के खाए गोरी का यार बलमतर से. So there is a story of a cuckolded husband with pan. You have a Banaras folk song which Malini Awasthi, she's here I believe for the festival, sings very famously, Sarota kaha bhula hai pyare nandoiya. Now there is illicit relationships within the family. The brother-in-law, sister-in-law, Sarota, वो कहता छैले पनवाड़ी से नैना लड़ गईयाँ, a Kishore Kumar song really actually done by Sultan Bijruh Puri, but a take off of the same folk songs. पान खाओं में चूना चटे सैया. Now you have phrases कि आपने चूना लगा दिया, आपने किसी के मर्डर के लिए सुपारी दे दी, and then you say कि how the phrases have changed. Originally it was a thal mahoba ka, pan ka, which was passed around to a brave soldier to go out on a suicidal mission, and he would say कि मैं इस बीड़े को उठा रहा हूँ, बीरा उसको उठाता था, and that was going out on a suicidal mission. Now of course you give it for contract killing, not a बीड़ा but a सुपारी दे रहे हैं आप उसको. So I thought, and then I had a fantastic time with Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahab once. We talked of music and we talked of pan, and he was very fond of pan, and he was अपने संगे पानदान रखते थे जिसमें नीचे उनकी कुछ खास बीड़ियाँ रहती जो वैसे पब्लिक में तो सिगार पीते थे, उस पानदान के नीचे के हिस्से में कुछ बीड़ियाँ भी थी, दूसरी तरफ पान का तामझाम रहता था. एंड ही रियली लव्ड हिज पान. ही टोल्ड मी कि हमारे अब्बा जब उनके अब्बा उनके से रियाज करवाते थे तो एक पीकदान साफ करवाते थे पहले कि टू टेस्ट द वर्च्यू ऑफ द गुरु. क्या क्या करवाता था पुराने ज़माने में उस्ताद कि जिस मेरे पीकदान को साफ करो तब तुम्हें सिखाऊंगा मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ. एंड पीकदान के संग अगर आप जाएँ तो हर वर्क व्हेन शी इज़ टॉकिंग ऑफ हेरिटेज थिंग्स, हाउ मेनी पीपल रिमेंबर द बीदरी का पीकदान जिसमें इनले वर्क वो काली मिट्टी में बीदर वाली से गोल्ड या सिल्वर स्ट्रिंग से है, उसमें थूकने का किसका मन करेगा? I mean, you would have to be Bourbon to carry a chamber pot and do it in garden in the maze. But अगर नवाब साहब भी हैं तो उनको शराफत से थूकेंगे, वो ऐसे तो नहीं थूकेंगे. तो the design element which goes into a पीकदान कि ऊपर चौड़ा है, नीचे पतला है. अब तो खैर सिगरेट भी आप नहीं पी सकते कहीं, तो सवाल ही नहीं उठता एस्ट्रे का. But what you could do with a पीकदान, what you could do with a पानदान, what you could do with a pandabba, and what you could do with a sarota, and all these things are fascinating. But that will distract me. I will go back to what they were reading. Yeah, I know. These sarotas.
This is her new book.
And one of them, I wish you had a closer view. One of the sarotas is a male figure on top and a female figure in non-liberated, non-woke times, the woman lying down. And you crack the nut, they have a ecstatic, orgastic copulation, and the supari is cut. You have a whole range of these sarotas in Raja Dinkar Kelkar Museum in Pune. This sarota thing I think is from, in her book I think is the image from Tanjore, the Tanjore Panwala. जो था उसमें. But the point is that I can't get pan out of my head. So
We are waiting for your book. We are waiting for your book.
No, I still am with their books, you know. When she talked of music, and Lucknow again is very interesting. We were sitting at the author's lounge. I'll just take 2 minutes for this. This is important. A Bengali gentleman came, and these two started speaking in Bengali. And now I'm in Bengali eavesdropper because my father and mother both could talk in Bengali. So I'm buji ekta, and he said, no, I'm not Bangal, I'm Pravashi Bengal. Now when you talk of Pravashi Bengal and Lucknow, you talk of three very eminent people, Dhurjiti Prasad Mukherjee, Radhakumar Mukherjee, and the then Vice Chancellor of the, founding Vice Chancellor of the Lucknow University. They started a music college called the Meris College of Music in Lucknow, which is now the Bhandarkar University. No students were registering for classical music. And three these eminent professors joined as first students of music there. And the tradition of music in Lucknow, जो है, वो ठुमरी हो, दादरा हो, बेगम अख्तर फैजाबादी हो, and that has a connection with food. I was reading, and this is absolutely the last thing after which I shut up.
Please don't shut up.
Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab was asked to sing at a Bania family in Delhi, no offense meant to Banias. गाना उतरा हुआ था. The host said, what's wrong? He said, एक खाना तो एक गाना. शाम को कुछ अच्छा खाने का इंतजाम करो, गोश्त वोश्त खिलाओ, रोटी बनाओ तो गाना भी खुलेगा. There is a line by him, he says, जब मेरा सुर लगता है, that's where music and food come together. मुझे कबाब का जायका आता है. अच्छा, उनको तो कबाब का जायका आता था, मगर अगर मान लीजिए भीमसेन जोशी थे, जो स्ट्रिक्ट वेजिटेरियन थे, दारू वारू तो खींच लेते थे अच्छी, मगर उनका जब सुर लगता तो उनको किस चीज़ का जायका आता था. It took me almost 5 years to trace his favorite food, which was dahi curd rice with मिट्टी के हांडी का टूटे टुकड़े में तड़का, जो उनके लिए तीखा मसाला बनाती थी, उनसे 20 साल बड़ी गंगूबाई हंगल पोहे का, वो उसमें उनका सुर लगता था. But then you see कि जब खाने में सुर लगता है तो वो गूंगे का गुड़ है. Is the commonality between sex, music and food is only the person who's indulging enjoys. बाकी के लिए तो वो vicarious.
A big hand for that. I told you he's my Guruji.
And you know, the train journey she did like music, the laying of railway lines made a difference to food. Not only Maggie. What about, I'm almost 40 years ahead of the train journeys. तो हमारे ज़माने में ट्रेन में खाना मिलता ही नहीं था. घर से तोशीदान में लाते थे या पेंट्री कार में खाते थे. And if you were traveling in a higher class, you could go to the dining car and come back. So à la carte खा सकते थे, वो खाना खाते थे. मगर जब ट्रेनें चली तो उसके संग खाना भी आना शुरू हुआ. Pilgrims आए, traders आए. So I think the food which I was interacting with a restaurant in Hong Kong. This is the best railway mutton curry I have had. There is a very good railway mutton curry in Royal Yacht Club in Bombay. There is a reasonably good mutton curry in Tollygunge Club in Calcutta. Tollygunge का जो वही होता है ना, फिर जब मुँह में ला पानी आता है तो उसको कौन देखता है हाथ को. But I have never seen a more authentic, if authentic is the right word, for the railway mutton curry in Hong Kong. They are maintaining a legacy of Raj. So that is what is. I think music is food. Railway journeys are food. Even this technology. I mean, mic हाथ में पकड़ने के लिए सिखाना पड़ रहा है because I'm a Luddite prehistoric fossil. मगर if you have lived in a pre-pressure cooker era and you have heard music, जो आपने कहा सुनीता ने, in pre-loudspeaker, pre-recording era, what do? Can you ever get that music feel कि आवाज़ का throw क्या होता है? आपकी बीड़ गमक आवाज़ की क्या है? What is happening to you? So I will rest my case there.
Sorry?
I will rest my case there. I think we are...
No, don't rest your case. Just one quick thing before you rest your case. So his book on food and music is also going to be happening soon, along with his book on pan. He knows so much about Amitabh Bachchan, Khai Ke Pan, Banarasi Wala and all the rest of it, and music and food. And of course, his book on the history of Delhi food is absolutely landmark. And it's already on the stands, selling, his first print run is sold out. All these books are available here for their signatures, and you can pick them up right after.
The first edition is not sold out, otherwise the book would not be available for signing.
Acha, okay.
That's number one.
It's almost sold out.
Almost.
Almost sold out.
But the interesting thing again goes to their readings. I once introduced myself to somebody, a refugee from I refugee in Delhi. And the person said, Punjab kitton aaye the? Rawalpindi. I said, no, no, no. You can be a refugee without coming from Punjab. You can be a refugee from the hills. आप खाना बदोश हैं, घर से दरबदर हैं, और 18 साल की उम्र में जब मैं दिल्ली आया, तो I was a refugee in Delhi. And I remain a refugee in Delhi. But this book, which is available today, is a very dear book to me because it's a personal memoir of a young kid coming to Delhi at the age of 17. And believe me, I was a young kid once.
We believe you.
I create infantile mentality even now, but that's another case. And then I grew up. So the first meal I had in was a Punjabi dhaba, refugee dhaba in Shankar Market. 70 paise for 4 tandoori roti, free dal, and adi plate of sabzi. And you could have a meal cheaper than that if you went to refugee market behind modern school. Then I became a freedom fighter. What I mean is I became a food critic kind of thing, and I got all my meals free from 5-star hotels.
Kind of thing he became.
So when I think back, I see how Delhi's landscape has changed,
Yeah.
how foodscape in Delhi has changed, and what my son eats, what his children eat. So this book is dedicated to my grandchildren, 2 daughters, for whom, wherever they go, Delhi will be home for them. And Delhi will be home for them, not only Chole, Kulche, Kakeda, Hotel, Kareem, all the tourist traps, but कि छोटी-छोटी जगहों में उन्होंने क्या खाना खाया था, and rite of passage of smoking a cigarette, eating a pan, eating prohibited buff. अब तो beef कहना जान का खतरा है, मगर buff चलेगा. You can take the soft with the rough. So Delhi is a fascinating place, which is not quite a melting pot, but a faluda glass like a Parsi that you dig into it and pick out what you want. You have Punjabi, so you can have vodka bhara hua pani puri puchka. You can have a momo, which is tandoori with hollandaise sauce. So this is what Delhi is, and I think it never ceases to amaze me.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Is this? Do we have 9 minutes left, my darling? What is this showing over? Huh? 15 minutes? Okay, there's a big fat clock over here which is going on blinking at me. But that was amazing, and we'd love to talk to you some more, but we have that clock over there. So we come to Sunita Kohli's book. First, before we go there, it's amazing how 3 of them, their personal involvement, lives, relationships have shaped their relationship with food. For your grandchildren, you've written this book. Your Delhi book is actually because they are life for you.
To be honest, not for my grandchildren. Grandchildren came secondary.
For your son?
I was doing, no, her son was there also. Ultimately, you do everything for yourself. You want peace, you are sad. Again, Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahab, I had the good fortune to ask him a question, किस वक्त क्या राग सुनना चाहिए? He laughed and said, मैं तुमको अक्लमंद समझता था. तो मैंने कहा, कुछ तो लोग कहते हैं राग इस वक्त ये होता है. He said कि आप किस वक्त, किस मूड में हैं, उस वक्त का राग क्या है, वो आपको रास आता है. Same with food. Are you excited? You want tranquilizing food? Are you already in deep depression, blue funk? You want to be excited? So food does that. Food is the ultimate mood manipulator, and that takes me back to the Palantod part. There is no such thing as an aphrodisiac, as the scientists would tell you. It's all here. I mean, love, like war and sex, it all begins here. So if you have the desire, you will perform. Otherwise, the Macbeth Porter scene, alcohol will arouse the desire but take away the performance.
Said Shakespeare.
बिल्कुल शेक्सपियर. तो कुल मिला के खेल ये है कि पान जो है या खाना जो है वो आप अपने you meditate on food, and I think that's when she says कि आप music कर रहे हैं, design. She's the ultimate design artist. But what happens is that isn't food all about design? कि आप menu design करेंगे, आप ingredient design करेंगे, आप process design करेंगे. वो खाना बनाने वाला किस मूड में है और खाने वाला किस मूड में है. That it has to match.
We love your connection between food and erotic stuff. But unfortunately, we can't keep on talking about it because it's time thing. So Sunita, your book which you're going to launch today, it's really exciting. I know your earlier Lucknow cookbook, which you did with her absolutely amazing 93-year-old mother who was actually present at the Jaipur Lit Fest at the launch of the book. A big hand for her mother, please. I can't tell you how touched I was to hear that. And please tell us about your new book, but I won't talk about it. You tell us, which is good.
First, let me say something about what Pushpesh ji has just said about Pan, and the end pages of my book are illustrated by Sarotas that are in my collection. But Having said that, in Delhi, you certainly can't, and Sorota is used for cutting betel nut, what we call dali in Lucknow. But the betel nut cutters commercially have all vanished. So you can go to the best panwala in Delhi and it will be like dallas of Delhi, you know, big, big. वो जो महीन डली कटती थी is really a thing of the past. You only find it in homes. Having said that, this book is also about really great family recipes that have come down for generations in the over 200 friends who have contributed to this book. So this book is as much about them as it is about me, who's put it together. So it's really our book. And when I say that, is that the wonderful thing about cuisine in our country, I mean, it is an intangible heritage. It speaks about plurality. It speaks about civilizational aspects. I mean, cuisine is even bigger than, I think, design in terms of buildings and you know, the sort of things that I've spent my professional life doing. And also cuisine is very mnemonic. You can go to a place and you can eat in that place and you will always be reminded. Like in Jaipur, I really associate Jaipur with kachoris. I mean, this is sort of an automatic connect that happens with, and as Lawrence Durrell once described, that, you know, writing recipes and on cuisine is like really word paintings. And Lawrence Durrell, as you know, was this absolutely brilliant prose writer of the Alexandrian Quartet. So, aur kya keh sakte hai? I mean, the book is there, the wonderful recipes of food are there. I mean, to give an example, I was, I think, a week ago or maybe 10 days ago at the Hindu Lit Fest in Chennai. And Preeta Reddy, who has contributed the Avakai biryani, so she invited me for dinner 10 days ago, and she said, you know, I'm going to make the Avakai biryani again for you because I had contributed that, but there's another twist to it. So, you know, one's own recipes also keep getting reinvented and reinvented. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about food.
But what is wonderful about this book, that you cover 6 regions, 200 recipes, 270 pages, and you have those wonderful, wonderful illustrations of all those utensils. It's a combination of friendship. You were going to tell us something about how you got, you know, the anecdote about how you received the recipe.
No, you know, it was very difficult to illustrate this book because there are so many contributors. So my editor said, why don't you do it because I've been collecting utensils for 50 years from all over India. So that's what we decided to do. Of course, I got like 120 vessels photographed and they used about 10, Sorota's being amongst one of them. But the first page to the introduction really has a photograph of a pawnee, which is, as you all know, a pierced spoon. And to think how food also gets carried, as well as the implements and the utensils, because that pawnee is over 100 years old. It belonged to my maternal grandmother, who belonged to Multan, was married in Quetta. She gave it to my mother, who got married and lived in Lahore. And after partition, from Lahore, it came, my mother brought it from Lahore to Delhi en route to Lucknow, where they eventually settled. Why would somebody rather than carry the same weight in jewelry, carry an implement? I mean, these have their own stories about what is valuable to them. So that is it's illustrative of how food memories are valuable, because with that, my mother's mother used to take out malpudas, and which is, as you all know, it's probably the oldest dessert recipe in the world. It's also mentioned in the Rig Veda.
We've actually been really privileged, honored to watch these three making culinary history. They continue to do it. Let's have a big hand for them before we do the launch of Sunita Kohli's book. And before we do that, I just have brought for them, I've also brought some general ones. So happy to be with culinary superstars. This is Bombay Bhel Chikki for each one of them from Bombay. And let's all hold the book and do the launch, and then we can open up for questions, if any. Sweetheart, just take it, yeah. Okay, okay, Sunita. Ready? Sunita Kohli's book.
So congratulations, Sunita. And before we proceed for the Q&A round, I'll request Sunita to address us.
Its address is really to thank the Jaipur Literary Festival. Okay. I think it's a huge privilege, a huge honor that my book is being launched at this very prestigious festival. I thank you all for witnessing it. I'm so grateful. And in particular...
Big hand, big hand.
Yeah. I would like to thank Namita and William and Sanjay and Ritika and Neha and all those wonderful people who kept us all in order, writing to us about all the arrangements. Thank you so much, Jaipur Lit Festival.
Thank you, Jaipur Lit Fest.
Thank you, Sunita. I really like the term cooks and armchair cooks from you. My favorite one. Yes, Maggie has become omnipresent nowadays. खाना है, खाना ही बनाना है, खाना ही बजाना है, खाना ही सजाना है. So there's one gentleman visits a doctor and he says, I have a problem. मुझे हर चीज़ में खाना नजर आता है. And that is what Pushpesh sir told us about. Thank you very much, sir. Now the house is open for question-answer round. Those who have something to ask are eminent writers and experts. You're most welcome. My volunteers are on both my sides. Here, there's a mic.
Thank you for the lovely session, and it makes me feel so homely when I hear about Sarota. I've been lucky that I've seen those Pandani and Sarota. My nanny is topping that. And congratulations for your book, ma'am. Sir, you mentioned the word authentic mutton curry. So I've always been very curious about what is the criteria to put this word authentic ahead of recipe. You being our food god, actually, we term him as our food god. You have all the rights to call anything authentic.
No, I think, the point is I was not making the point about the authentic mutton curry. The word authentic is only used in a reserved context of railway mutton curry.
Ji.
And the railway mutton curry changed its character according to the locale the train was traveling through. So the Madras mutton curry railway mutton curry was very different from the Calcutta railway mutton curry and the Bombay railway mutton curry.
My question is, non-qualified people calling their recipes authentic, I cannot say any recipe.
Look, this can continue for eternity. We'll take it up outside. It is not what the other people say or the people who have cooked the recipe say. It is what the people who have tasted it say. Isme maza aa raha ki nahi aa raha. That is the ultimate test of authenticity.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Good afternoon. Sanjeev Kapoor and Ranbir Barar and Vikas Khanna. Who is the most innovative and who is the naughtiest?
मैं इनको दे रहा हूँ, इनको माइक दे रहा हूँ, मगर आपका सवाल
Please introduce yourself before you ask the question.
कि ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश में सबसे बड़ा देवता कौन है?
Answer दे दिया उन्होंने, but I think Sanjeev Kapoor changed the way women in households cook. He is the foundation of me and many men in the industry. Because what Sanjeev Kapoor did for us, that's why we are here today. So and I can't take anyone who is like Ranveer and Vikas are my baby brothers. So I can't say who is better. For most innovative, personally, I think it's Ranveer.
Please, mic for him, please. Please introduce yourself there.
Hi, I'm Abhishek from Delhi. My question is that has there been a book written until now, of course what you've written now is going to add to that, that you really liked about Indian food? Your favorite Indian cookbook before you wrote this, what you wrote?
Actually, it's not a cookbook. The book I enjoyed greatly was Dr. Om Prakash's doctoral dissertation and Food and Beverage in Ancient India from earliest time to 1000 AD. A PhD dissertation completed under Dr. Moti Chandra long ago. A book is out of print. It has great Sanskrit texts with translations and context. जैसे आपने कहा मालपुड़ा एंड पौनी, तो उसमें मालपुड़े की रेसिपी नहीं है, मगर मालपुड़े का जिक्र ऋग्वेद में कहाँ है वो है, बीफ कहाँ खाया गया था वो है, कहाँ सिरका बन रहा था वो है, कहाँ सी फूड था वो है. So it inspires you. And going back to Mr. Kapoor, Sanjeev Kapoor, I was very touched. We were in a Korean food festival and we were going to the airport. He of course was the star. उन्होंने अपने बैग से किताब निकाल के मुझे दी, and I think it was an act of great generosity. He said, "You research food. This book belongs to you." It was a bibliography of ancient texts compiled together in English, small booklet. I think I owe him much, like the lady here does. And I think innovation is not what you are plating. जो आपने फरमाया मेरे ख्याल में दिक्कत वही है कि क्रिएशन तो ब्रह्मा ने की ना, कि अगर हाउस वाइफ्स ने सवेरे शाम कोफ्ता बनाना शुरू किया या कॉन्फिडेंट हुए तो वो तो रोल उन्हीं का है. द अदर टू आर सेलिब्रिटी शेफ्स. तो सेलिब्रिटी वर्ड कम्स फर्स्ट, शेफ कम्स लेटर. इन Sanjeev Kapoor's case, I think the chef was there before he became a celebrity.
Thank you for that. A big hand. Is our time up?
We can take one more question. Just one more, and please come directly to the questions.
Hi everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm a great fan of Dr. Pushpant. After watching his series, I actually went to Lucknow, Jaipur, Udaipur, Banaras, Calcutta on food trips.
प्रश्न पर आइए sir, please.
प्रश्न ये है sir, I have a lot of nostalgic memories about all this food, but now the generation is changing, right? When we go to traditional Indian breakfast, Indian food, the protein is less, right? People are inclining more toward healthy foods and all. How do we maintain a balance between tradition and health? Because, for example, my parents still eat chapati 3 times a day, but he's not a farmer, right? He doesn't need that. How to maintain a balance?
देखिए, ऐसा each one of us have to maintain a balance ourselves. I can't maintain the balance for my father or my son or my granddaughter. मैं अपने पेट पे कब्जा कर सकता हूँ, अपने दिमाग को भस्म करने की कोशिश कर सकता हूँ. Actually, Ritika here was asking that question about authentic mutton curry. Right after this, I'm going to put her in touch with the lady here who's coming to Jaipur for the first time. She writes great travelogues for New York Times, researches them for months and discovers the local food. तो आपसे मिलेंगी तो आप इनको जयपुर के खाने का बताइए. पहली बार जयपुर आई हैं. मे बी कचौरी, बट इफ देयर इज जोधपुर वाला हियर, ही वुड से वो तो हमारी चीज़ थी. रावत तो वहाँ से आके बसा है ना. प्याज की कचौड़ी हो, मावे की कचौड़ी हो. इंदौर जाएंगे तो झगड़ा खस्ता कचौरी को लेके हो जाएगा. बनारस में वही प्रॉब्लम होगा. तो मेरे ख्याल में आप बात जब करेंगी तो ऑथेंटिसिटी ऑफ राजस्थानी मारवाड़ी फूड आप इनके संग.
Thank you. And thank you all of you for being such a wonderful audience.